Dear friends, in the last lecture we were discussing about the science and technology, the Vedas and Upavedas. Upavedas means scientific literature, Vedas means spiritual literature. Both these we used to say Vedas. Veda means knowledge, and the Rishis who composed the spiritual knowledge were known as Maharshis and Rishis. And you can see those who composed the scientific book were also known as Rishis and Maharshis. Now you can also see that we had thousands and thousands of ancient Indian literature written in Sanskrit. Most unfortunately, all the scientific books were composed, almost all the scientific books were composed in Sanskrit language by the great Rishis for the last many thousand years. So, unfortunately, majority of the common people thought that Sanskrit belongs to a particular high caste society in Hindu Dharma, so that many low caste people did not give much attention in learning the scientific literature of ancient India. If you are taking that hundreds and thousands of branches of modern knowledge in scientific and technological area or subject, exactly the same number of scientific and literature subjects, scientific and technological subjects were there in ancient India also. Say for example, if you are thinking about chemistry, we in India had nearly 1,000 chemistry books. Rasarnavam, Rasarnavakalpam, Rasendra Saram, Rasendra Sara Sarvaswam, Rasaratna Samuchayam, Rasaratnagaram, Rasarnava Chudamani, Rasendu Saram, and like that. Majority of these chemistry based books gives explanation of inorganic chemicals, the salts, the other metallurgical alloy based compounds and alkaline products and oxides and hydroxides of the metals, and how they are to be manufactured, how the furnaces and the crucibles are created, and how the distillation is done, how the evaporation is done, how the sublimation is done, how each and every modern chemical processes were done in ancient India. This has been explained around 900 BC and beyond that in many chemistry books. And Rasaratna Samuchayam, written by Nagarjuna, has given the explanation how a laboratory should be, Rasachala should be constructed. What I wanted to convey, if you are taking a subject of chemistry, all whatever is available in the modern period are available or were available in ancient India, but they were in the primitive line compared to the modern technological development. They were not as perfect or as fine as we could do it now. They were all designed and fabricated hundreds and hundreds of years ago. But remember that concept existed in India, and distillation, boiling, heating, dry heating, wet heating, steam heating, distillations, these were all conducted very systematically, and they were exactly the duplication of the modern process with primitive equipments. This is the only difference. Primitive equipments. And that is the case of chemistry. And now go to any other subject. If you are taking the case of physics, you can see that variety of equipments in Amshubodhini, one of the oldest book in which many types of yantras, machineries are given, many theoretical and practical concepts of the physics have been given, and they were composed even BC 100 or 200 or 300. And Maharshi Bharadwaja composed the Amshubodhini, and it is a huge book. I am using a wrong word, a huge book, and from that a small part is taken, that is known as Yantra Sarvaswam. Yantra Sarvaswa itself is a very big book having 140 chapters, in which from the Yantra Sarvaswa one chapter is taken, that is the 40th chapter, that is known as Vimana Tantram, which is a very big book. So remember that Amshubodhini is a huge book in which physics principles, both theoretical and applied knowledge, are given. From that one chapter is or small part is taken, which is known as Yantra Sarvaswa. Yantra Sarvaswa has got 140 chapters, of which the 40th chapter is Vimana Tantra, which itself is a big book. So 109th chapter of Yantra Sarvaswa is a spectrophotometer which could be designed and fabricated in the 20th century in IIT Delhi. So remember that as far as the physics is concerned, this we will be explaining in future also. Our knowledge about physics, particularly about sound, knowledge about light, knowledge about magnetism, knowledge about hydrodynamics, and knowledge about the different states of a matter like a gaseous state, liquid state, fluid state and solid state. These were all existed in India, even though explained in Sanskrit. Maybe primitive languages might have been used by them for their purpose. So remember that when we use English words for explaining the physics, they used Sanskrit words for explaining the physics, chemistry and other subjects. They had the freedom to use their own language of choice and interest, just like we have got our own choice and interest in explaining the physics subject or chemistry or mathematics. So we cannot question their freedom to opt for a particular language, as they never questioned our method of adopting the foreign language for explaining the science and technology. So remember that here pure chemistry could be seen extensively in hundreds of literature. Physics is also available. Say for example, in the Yoga Shastra, in the Nyaya Shastra and in different darshanas, Vichi Taranga Nyayena Shabda Ulpatti. The sound waves propagate as taranga waves. The sound propagate as taranga waves. This has been explained. Eka Samayecha Ubayana Navataranam. One time two complementary properties cannot be evaluated. That is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Apakarsha Padyandam Drivyam Paramanurivam. Inferior most particle of a matter is known as Paramanu or atom. Paramanu iti prokta jnaninam drishti gojara. What we call it as atom. That could be understood. That could be understood by scientists only. Scientists only. Hundreds and thousands of similar quotations can be taken, and it can be explained, which will be done in the course of time. Similarly, you can see in Bharadwaja's Vimana Tantra, it is mentioned Desha Deshandaram Yaddat Loka Lokandaram Tada Dvipa Dvipandaram Jaiva Yo Ambare Gendu Marhati Savimana Iti Prokta Keda Shastra Vidambarehi. For going from one island to another island, from one country to another country, from one world to another world, the vehicle used which takes you through the sky, Ambare Gandu Marhati. Ambara means sky. That particular vehicle is known as Vimana. This is the first line written by Parameshwara Acharya in the book of Bharadwaja's Vimana Tantra. So there is a concept existed, whether in Treda Yuga, Pushpaga Vimana existed, or in Dwapara Yuga, some other type of Vimana existed, that may be part of our epics, Itihasa or Purana. But pure instrumental book, missionary based books, Bharadwaja, Sentra, Sarvasva, explain this one. So we can see that not only in the pure physics subject is explained, not only in pure chemistry books, the chemistry book is subject is explained, but in other books also physics is explained and chemistry is explained. As for example, Shankaracharya has explained about mathematics. Yada ekarekha shatastane shatam dashastane dasham cha ekastane ekam. Tada eka nari mata cha uchyate duhita swasacha. How we explain a lady as mother, the same lady will also be explained as a daughter, the same lady will also be explained as a daughter-in-law. Just like that, the same number in different position will be carrying different values. In the 100th position, Eka Rekha, 1 digit, Shatastane Shatam. In the 100th position, that number will be having 100 times the value. Dashastane Dasham. If that particular number is in the 10th position, that will be having 10 times the value. Ekastane Eka. If that number is there in the first position, naturally that will be having only one number value. So it is written by Shankaracharya, and that is a pure mathematical book. So remember that the scientific knowledge existed in India in different type of literature. Psychology is available in almost all Puranas. Management principle is available like psychology in Puranas, in Ramayana, in Mahabharata, in Yoga Vasishta, in Bhagavad Gita, and so on. Sociological messages are also available with that. Metallurgical knowledge existed in Mahabharata, which is literally astounding knowledge. So we can see that whether we call it a Purana, a spiritual book, or an Itihasa, similarly spiritual book, or Veda, a spiritual book, you can see that Sisam Jame, Shyamam Jame, Trabush Jame, Urp Jame, Shyamaka Ashtame, Nivara Ashtame. So Sisam Jame, lead is mentioned, the copper is mentioned, the copper alloy Trapu is mentioned, Hiranyan Jame, Namayashtame. Hiranya means gold is mentioned, Jivadu means silver is mentioned, Ayam means iron is mentioned in Yajurveda, which might have got composed about 4000 BC by Yajnavalkya Maharshi. So what we could say, all the spiritual literature do contain pure scientific and technological knowledge. And all the pure scientific books also contain the pure scientific and technological knowledge. And remember that these books are available even today. Say for example, Sangeeta Ratnagaram, written by Sharngadhara. Sangeeta Ratnagaram is nothing but a book composed by Sharngadhara on music, in which he has mentioned very specifically that Damanyo Rektavahinaha Chadurvimshadiradida Kulyabhiriva Kedara Rastabir Deho Vivartate. Damanyo Rektavahinaha. Blood vessels are more than 24. Chadurvimshadiradida Kulyabhiriva Kedara. Just like that a tube, an hose, a pipeline takes water to the paddy field, Kedara, Kulyabhiriva Kedara, Rastabir Deho Vivardate. For the well-being and the functioning of the body, the blood is taken to different part of the body through the major blood vessels. So blood circulation has been explained in 9th century by Sharngadhara in Sangeeta Ratnagara, which is about 600 years prior to William Harvey. According to the modern knowledge, he discovered the blood circulation. And you just watch the word Hridayam. Hri means aharati is Hri. Dadadi. Aharati means accepting. Dadadi means giving. Ayati means circulating. So Hridayam means, Hri means accepting, Da means giving, Ayam means Ayati circulating. That word itself contains, which is available in Rig Veda, Hridayam Mama Roga, Hridayam Shamaniyam. That mantra is also there. So Hridayam is the word from Rig Veda which convey the message of blood circulation indirectly. So you can see that scientific knowledge existed in India from time immemorial in thousands of literature written by thousands of Rushies for the last many thousands of years in many subjects, thousands of subjects. It is your duty to learn all these knowledge and become a perfect modern scientist having the knowledge of ancient India. My pranams to you.